Hey, what's up, Dice Throne community? Guys, thank you for joining us today. My name is Will.
I'm Solo.
And we're going to be going through some really cool things that have been happening in the Dice Throne universe right now. We're looking at the Vanguard Pack today, and it's going to be amazing. But before we get started, I just want to take a second and introduce myself. I'm Will. I am the eye candy, and this is the skill.
I'm Solo. I've been playing Dice Throne for about a year now. The last 2 seasons, I've ranked number 3 and number 4 in the globe. I really enjoy playing the game. It's nothing but, fun and good times for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just so you know where I stand in the Dice Throne community, number 3 and number 4, I am 753rd in the world. Actually, I don't have all the tournaments I need to get ranked, but I do have 54% win rate in ranked.
And mine is 84% win rate.
This guy. But so yeah, we're going to go through all these packs today. We're going to take a second. We're going to go through each one of them and do an overview. We'll do a deep dive in future videos. And actually in the comments, let us know which one you want to see next. And so based on your feedback, we'll go through that and see which one we are going to do the next deep dive on.
Okay, let's go ahead and open it. So this is going to be the Vanguard pack. It's going to be just coming out for everyone who backed it. You should be getting yours if you haven't got yours here soon. The top cover actually comes off, and I know you guys already all know this, but got to show it anyway. Next is a little mini boss that you can fight. I've not done it yet, but I look forward to giving that a shot.
It looks really fun.
The first one we're going to pull out is going to be the Druid. Now, mind you, Will and I have only taken a few shots of these new characters, but we want to kind of give our first impressions and where we think they're going to land in the new meta, and also in general, like how fun they are. Which I can tell you right now, they're all fun.
Yeah, we came over one day and we ended up playing for hours, and so this new set is a lot of fun.
Right now, the thing that I will say about the Druid, which I feel is going to be, I think this is going to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest, in the new Fortis that's come out. The ability to shapeshift and go through your forms is going to be super important to keep track of. But once you get the hang of that, it's going to be pretty unstoppable. I don't think it's going to have a hard counter. Mm-hmm. It's going to be somebody that's going to need to basically play right as far as to be able to beat them. So you guys, if you don't know, it has a Druid form, and then it has a cat form, and then it has a bear form.
Yeah, the coolest thing about that, so when your Druid form is active, you'll get a regenerate, and at the conclusion of your turn. And regenerate gives you 2 health and then 1 health the following turn, unless you steal it, and that's rude. But yeah, then one of the things I found the most fun was when I had cat form active, and cat form is a little beast here, because not only does it add 2 damage, it puts a wound. And so the wounds are great. It happens before, in the upkeep, before you get a chance to spell it. So it's 1 guaranteed damage.
Exactly. So a wound is, and I want to add this because we were talking about this actually the other night. Wound is basically a better bleed. So we all know what bleed is. You roll a dice and you hit a 5 or 6 and it comes off, no damage is done. Wound actually happens, the damage happens before you roll a dice. Mm-hmm. And like Dice Throne does, and how they are so amazingly balanced and how they balance their games, they made it so instead of 5-6, it's a 4-5-6 comes off. So there's a higher chance of it coming off, but the damage gets done before you roll.
Right, and so then it's 2 at the time of damage, but it's a guaranteed 3 damage. So yeah, we talked about the cat form, we talked about the Druid form, now the bear form. So the bear form gives you thick hide, and this amps up your defense. So what he was saying about it being a versatile character, you can regen, stall the game, or you can go aggro with the cat. But then also, if you need to play a little bit more of a defensive game, it goes into his defense.
So what it does with his defense is it basically doubles the dice you can roll. With thick hide, your defensive roll right now, you can only roll 2 dice if you're not in bear form. When you're in bear form, you can roll 4 dice, and that becomes for every claw you roll, you do a damage back to the person. So you can potentially do 4 damage back to your attacker. For every paw and every nature you roll, you block damage. So you potentially block 4.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes a really strong defense.
Absolutely.
Um, and
It's
the
pretty bitey.
yeah, it can be biting, or it can it's almost like a treant mixed with a smaller pyro type character.
Right.
Um, Now, with this, we're saying that you can go aggro, you can go defensive, you can go neutral. The cool thing about it is the shape shifts are instant actions, meaning that you can shape shift after you say you hit somebody, you're in cat form, right? And you hit somebody for that +2, give them the wound. And on the druid side, it says at the conclusion of your turn, you or your teammate gains regenerate. So you can spend a shapeshift and change straight back to the druid
Mm-hmm.
and get that regenerate after you just hit them for the bigger attack.
Right.
So that's what's going to make it difficult to deal with, because some abilities on here, like for instance, Nature's Cure, gives you a regenerate as well. So if you spend your tokens right, and you shapeshift correctly, you can get 2 regenerates on you at the end of your turn, meaning that your next upkeep phase, unless they're removed, you're healing 4. So not only could you block 4 in your defense, but you can heal 4, which is delta of 8.
Right. Yeah, that's really nice. And there's some of the cards that we'll go over in a second. But some of these cards help you dance between those things. There's one that's an instant that gets you a shapeshift. So even if you don't have one on your board, throw down the shapeshift and it's instant. So there's a little bit of withholding information in there, so you can surprise them with.
Go look at the individual cards when we go into the deep dive. But that's kind of my overall view of this. Is I definitely think that Druid is going to be one that you're going to see more constantly in the next upcoming season, especially with it being the vitality with the treant being the person that it's going to be the focus. You'll see Druid. You probably see more Huntress. Just because people like to play themes. I like to play themes, so I'm definitely going to be trying to play some Druid. I think it's going to be a little bit a trick to master the change back and forth. Once you do, I think it's going to be a strong character.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of my favorites. This is one that I want to spend some time getting better on. Um, and the mini game, switching back and stance dancing. If you played League of Legends, Udyr did that. But dancing back and forth between your stances is kind of fun.
Yeah, and something you'll get to know about Will real soon is if the character has a mini game, he's playing that character.
Yeah.
He
And
he likes the changing dice or like drawing cards and stuff like that.
oh yeah,
One thing you'll know that gets me is I like being the most irritating person on the battlefield. I like finding the nuances that really just make you roll your eyes.
he likes playing characters that are the enemy of fun.
Okay, we have next one we have is Duelist.
This one's my favorite to play. I don't know if he's going to be my favorite to bring to a tournament, but he is my favorite to play out of this set.
So my first thought was he was going to be super aggro and difficult to handle when it comes to attacks. After playing it, I played it a couple more times. I, um, I still think that he is super aggro, but with his footwork track, if you time this stuff right. So with the duelist, his like okay, so Druid stick is shape shifting, changing,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like we'll say withholding information, wait till the last minute, like doing all the little tricks and change back and forth. His is footwork. So what that means is you start in neutral position and then you can move up 1, which gives you a +1. You can move up 2, it gives you a +3. Move back 1, and when you're attacked, you get to draw a card. Or move back 2, and when you're attacked, you defend 3. And the way you move back and forward is primarily through your upkeep, where you can move one steps forward and back. If you move 1 back, that means you get a guard break, which is great
Mm-hmm.
because that's going to be kind of a key to his whole kind of deal. I'll explain that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But his abilities also help you move back and forth, and so some of his cards. So once again, it's alone looking where you're at, trying to time it so you can hit for that 3, but be in position to back up to block 3. And it's not going to be totally easy to do it, but it's easier than you think. But you got to keep that in mind. It's like where am I at for this foot track, so I can do the most damage and potentially block the most. You're not going to do it every time, so it depends on how you want to play. It also depends on your game state as well.
And one thing I found most fun about this is there's also cards that help you move back and up and down, but also some of these moves help you take steps. top of that, his defense, the odds of rolling that, I mean, on 4 dice, that's 2 steps on average. So we're going to be hitting that at least 2 steps forward or 2 steps back, unless the dice gods hate you.
Well, the good thing is the dice gods do hate you. At least you're doing 2 damage back to them.
True.
Or at least one. I mean, that's the thing. So for every 2 swords you roll, you do 1 damage, and that improves when you upgrade it. It's going to be every 1 sword you roll, kind of like Moon Elf.
Right.
And then when you roll a boot or a pierce, you move back 1. So I mean, if you end your turn at a +1, you could potentially move back pretty easily to the +3 for defense.
Right.
But so one thing I was explaining with the guard break with this character, if you'll notice one glaring thing on this board, and there is only one source of undefendable damage, meaning that as a person that wants to do a lot of damage, you're going to be going into their defense a lot, and that's going to be problematic for people who have strong defenses. And when the next character we talk about, you'll see what I'm talking about. But with guard break, you have that chance of rolling the 4 or 5 and making it undefendable, meaning that this is where it comes in big, because your large straight does 10 damage base, just taking that face value. You got good.
Also on the guard break, there's a card in his deck that makes anything a 4 or a 5. So if you get that card, you would have at least one guaranteed undefendable, which might be nice for an execute. It might be nice to set them in a rough position early.
Right, and that's one thing. So you get 10 damage, you take 1 step. So if, let's say, you moved up and you're at the +1 stage of the foot tracker, and then you move 1 step up, you get to +3. So right there, you're doing 13 damage. And if you can roll the guard break and hit it at 13 undefendable damage, that is more than the majority of ults that are out there. His ult only gives you 11 damage, but you can move up 4 times, so it essentially gives you 14.
Yeah.
And he's not that difficult to roll for. So he has, once again, it's a 3-2-1. I mean, I've whiffed a couple times because I was chasing something, but who hasn't? I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where. But if you do what I always preach and everything else is, do what the dice give you. Like do not roll out an ability. Take what they give you. But with his, like, for a great example, his on guard, which is not a super strong attack. It's not weak. It's above average. So I always consider, like, 7 or above, or 7 average, and anything above 7 is above average. Anything below, you can still take it. Any damage there, no damage.
Right.
But the on guard is 8 damage. You roll 4 dice, and then you do a disarm. Now, disarm means that you're on the upkeep phase. Your opponent must discard a card, or they skip their income phase. Means no card and no CP.
Right. So for people that are card starved, or people that draw through almost their entire deck, like Shadow Thief, and they all have a handful of beautiful cards, it's kind of nice to make them discard or put them in a place where it wrecks their economy. Now, it's not guaranteed because it's a 6. You have to roll a 6 to get it, and so it's not that high of a percentage, but it is kind of nice to watch their face kind of screw up. Like, damn, I didn't want to get rid of that one.
Especially if you say you get on guard and they have 2 cards in their hand, and one's so wild, one's twice as wild. Like us. Anyway, so if you roll that, they're having to choose to get rid of one of those cards. Of course, you can get rid of So Wild or anything else, but still, you're taking a card away from them. But overall, in my first impression of this character, it's going to be hard to deal with if you have a weak defense. Like, I'll pick this going into, say, like a Vampire Lord. I'll pick this one going into anybody who doesn't have a really bitey defense. I can just go in and concentrate and hit it hard. Also, though, with guard break, it gives potential even going into people with good defenses. I think he is going to struggle against stronger defenses. And if he doesn't get you down, the hero's a good setup will be a problem for him. But I think overall he's going to be a strong character.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about you? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I do think so also. Actually, I think I might be a little bit more optimistic than Solo is, but also I'm not ranked 4th in the world, so take that for what it's worth.
Okay, we're going to go to the next character. Next character was definitely the one I was looking forward to the most out of this set, and it didn't disappoint by any means. And you see these real quick. You got his shields, his helmets. So this is a Forgemaster. Forgemaster is a dwarf, and he has a very simple plan: build his armor and make you regret hitting him,
Yeah.
and just basically once his armor is built, it's all gas, no brakes. So and here's the coolest thing about this. If you got on the Kickstarter, these things are amazing. These are the metal pieces that came with them, and I didn't show the wood piece that came with the Druid or
The
the
acrylics.
metal coin that came
Mm.
with the Duelist. But I was really excited about these. I won't be taking these to tournament just because it's hard to fit everything in this box.
Yeah.
So, but I will definitely. I think they're really awesome.
It's a nice little piece of eye candy.
Yep. So here's the thing about Forgemaster. Um, I think he is going to be a terror, especially if you have a good first draw. Our first game,
Oh
he
my god.
drew 4 gold pieces his opening hand, not even mining his opening hand.
Mm-hmm.
So he immediately was able to upgrade, and we'll go into that in a second. So um, his thing is you have the choice, and this is very important because one thing that when we were first playing, I didn't realize during your upkeep phase, you may mine your deck. I mean, you don't have to, but mining is how you burn through your deck and you get your ore cards.
Mm-hmm.
The thing to know about this character is 2 major things, or 3 actually. You have no upgrades, so his board is fully upgraded. Um, which is good because it does average damage, above average damage. His mini ult does 9 undefendable.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. You don't have to worry about upgrading. And there's no character specific cards except for his ore. Meaning there is nothing that ups his defense, helps you, no attack modifiers,
Mm-hmm.
nothing that gives you extra stuff because you're the dwarf. Um, because all of his cards are ore cards now, and you have gold, diamond, and ultimanium. So with all that being said, when you do your upkeep and you mine, that means you take the top 3 cards from your deck, you look at them. If you have an ore card, you show your opponent and you put it into the forge, and
Mm-hmm.
it stays in the forge until you use it. You're going to be mining through a lot of your cards, your dice mods, which and your base cards you come up with every character.
And it hurts to get rid of your twice as wild. You see it pass by and you know it's, but it's information though.
Yep.
But it hurts to have to put it on the bottom of your deck and after you've mined.
And that's the thing though. He says something very important though. It goes on the bottom of your deck. It doesn't go into your discard pile.
Mm-hmm.
Your ore does not go in your your ore or your other cards don't go in your discard pile. They go in the bottom of your deck. I mean, you're going to see it again because you mine so often with this character. You mine during your upkeep phase. It's his best ability pre armor is going to be a good haul.
Mm-hmm.
A good haul means you can mine your deck, reveal all 3 ore cards or all ore cards that you mined, and you keep them in this way. So instead of 1, you keep all 3. If you get lucky, if you pull 3.
And the other thing is it deals 8 damage. So
Yep.
not only are you cycling through your deck, pulling out all the ore cards, you're dealing 8 damage. So not it helps you get to that raid boss status we were talking about, and it's above average.
Yep. And then his defense is you roll when his dice anatomy is 3-2-1 as well. So if you roll a pickaxe, you mine again. So you can potentially mine 2 times before yeah, 2 times before you go in your offensive roll,
Mm-hmm.
and then a third time possibly as well. So you
Right.
can mine up 9 cards in a full turn, which is great. But having said that, but also so his defense once you get armor, so gold helmets, you when you're attacked, you do 1 damage back. Diamond helmet, when you're attacked, you get 2 damage back, and ultimanium, you do 3 damage back. Shield, you block 1 for gold, you block 2 for diamond, and then you block 2 of any kind of damage when you have the ultimanium shield,
Mm-hmm.
and that's very important because you don't block damage, you don't do damage back unless you're attacked with defendable damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a guaranteed response to an attack, but if it's undefendable, just like anything else, it goes through it. If you have the ultimate shield, you will be able to still block 2, which is great. Here's another thing too: armored up. So he kind of got, in my opinion, I see him going through phases. And once we take a deep dive, I'll go in a little more what I'm talking about. But you have to start game, your mid game, and your end game. So start game, good haul. Mid game, when you're armored up, when you've got 2 pieces on you, your straights become killer. So if you have 2 pieces of armor, you add 2 damage. Small straight 7 becomes 9,
Mm-hmm.
so it's above average, way above average. and then large straight from 10 becomes 12.
You know, one thing to think about too is this character takes quite a while to play. You're mining your decks multiple times. You're looking at 3 cards. You're keeping one, putting on, building your armor. And so, if you're taking this into competitive play and they're also playing a slow character, you're gonna go to time. That was completely random, but that's what
No,
was.
no, it was actually something that we're discussing that I think is a good point. So for all of you out there that do play competitive play, we all know we got 30 minutes to play a game, and that typically 35 including setup. Usually, if you got a good dice roll, they'll give you time to set up and get everything going. But once you start play, you have 30 minutes in, and then after that they call time. So when we're looking at this character and say a druid, so you got druid going against Forgemaster, and one's healing and one's blocking, and you're going back and forth. You're going to have to watch what you're doing and making sure that you take every chance to get that hit in. The really nasty thing about this is once you upgrade to the Ultimanium helmet, so when you roll your defense, a hammer, which is on a 4 or 5, is you double effective armor. So instead of 3 damage coming back to you, you have 6 damage. That's more than Power Master defense.
Right.
You have 6 damage coming back to you. So let's just say I roll a good haul. Say on average 6 of that went through. Say block 2, and then on my defense I have my helmet on, my Ultimate helmet, and I roll a hammer. So now in one turn, I've done 6 on my attack because they blocked 2, and then 6 on my defense. So you've done 12 damage in one full turn.
Right.
I mean, that's gonna be the problem. So how do
You have a 50% chance of getting that too, because it's another 3-2-1 character, and so yeah, so the odds of hitting 4, 5, or 6, and the 6 doubles both effects on your defense.
it can double? So it doubles one effect of each armor. Just keep that in mind. And this is where you would save like your dice mods,
Right.
especially for that sneaky like last little hit. Um, on top of all this, so you might be saying it's too strong. How do we get around this? So remember what I said earlier. It has to be activated by defense. So this character is going to run into problems with undefendable damage. I see honestly with some of these characters, Seraph might be a uptick, and I know a lot of people hate Seraph. They're not a good player. Blah blah. Blah. I've won several games with Seraph, and I believe it's the way you play her. She is a little more slow build, but I think with the source that she has for undefendable damage, it's going to be a problem for and removal of status effects. But I have a problem for like Druid or even this guy, the Forgemaster. So any character with a good, strong, undefendable damage game will avoid his defense, avoid getting hit back for that 6 or 3, or if he doesn't have the shield, the ultimate shield, the 2 block automatic. Um, on top of that, um, he has, I think it is tied with Thor for the strongest ult in the game because you don't have no dice mods. I mean, or attack modifiers. You have dice mods. My apologies. You have no attack modifiers, meaning that you want the damage printed on your board is what you're doing. So you're doing 14 undefendable damage, and then you get to search for a war card. And the anatomy of your ore cards, you get 10 gold ores, and then you get I think it's 6 of the diamond, and then 1 ultimanium. So that means you have to be really lucky to pull that ultimanium. So you get to search for it, get in your hand early, and go for it. So one thing I did mention is so the only way for your ore cards to go into your discard pile is by scrapping it. And once you get once you get a gold helmet and gold shield, you don't need gold anymore. So you have 10 gold cards in there, right? Well, you can scrap it for a CP or in health.
Yeah.
So that's potentially 10 CP or 10 health or 5 and 5, how you want to do it. But that is great value, especially when you mine. You say you have a good chance of getting the gold. You just go and heal, and it helps you stay above above that your opponent, especially when you're doing like 3 to 6 damage back on your defense.
Right. You could really turtle up that way.
Yeah, but so I think this character's gonna be strong. I see it being a terror. I also train yourself. You're going to play this in competitive play to have a good poker face, because nothing's going to tell your opponent that you just get around twice a while if you just show it all in your face. Because I know I do. I'm like, it is painful. I will say that when you're mining your deck and you go through. I think my first pull when I played him, that was an awful game. He destroyed me, and that was because my very first pull as Forgemaster was um, triple up, double up, and it was twice as wild. So all that went to the bottom of my deck.
And
So
double up and triple up is so good on him because it's a free mine.
yeah, oh yeah, double and triple up is going to be, you play those immediately. You see those go, you want to get those cards out. And one last thing is make sure that you understand that you don't have to mine every upkeep. It's a choice. So you want to just draw until you get to twice a while. You want to play that way. It's going to be a fun character to see which way that people play it. But I think overall it's going to be strong.
Great.
I would say we're saving the best for last, but I don't think it's the best.
I
And the board is amazing. I know you guys can see it. The shininess. I mean, it's great. I mean, the colors, the art, all these are fantastic. Man, does a great job with it.
I don't know if you can tell the foiling. Everywhere that's gold has gold foiling in it. It's really amazing.
Yeah, I really do. I really do enjoy her board. I want it to be good. I really do. I I'm going to play this character until I make it good. Until I can find a way to optimize her abilities. I want to make this character good. So I'm going to play this into the ground until I can really have a place for this. Adventures, she's going to be amazing.
Oh, so
And that's one thing we haven't talked about, and because I'm more we play more competitive. But adventures, I love adventures too. And missions, she's going to be amazing. She has her little stitch like you. So you had Druid shapeshifting, you had the Duelist with his footwork, Forgemaster making armor. She is a sun elf, so she is going from dusk to dawn. When you're on your dusk side, you start at 0, and then for every upkeep on your dusk side, you go up 1.
what? And if you're familiar with Ravenus's pecker wheel, Nevermore.
Picker wheel.
Pecker wheel. So if you're familiar with Ravenus's Nevermore, it's the same type of mechanic. It comes in differently though.
So when you're on your dusk side, you start at 0, you go up every upkeep, and you have abilities on her board that makes it go up as well. Once you get it all the way up to 5, it immediately flips and becomes a damage mod, which is, or I'm sorry, attack mod, which is absolutely fantastic. Also, if you're at 5 and you hit an ability or a card you have that heals you, you heal that amount instead. She's got survivability, is why I say she'll be great for adventures. But like I said, I'm going to play with her and see if we can see if there's going to be a good place for
Agree.
her. But her ray absorption. Um, Say you flipped and you're on your dawn side, right? And you're at 5. Take it to 5, and you hit this. You you would increase your dial by 3, means you'll heal 3, and then you heal 2 on top of that. That's a 5 heal, which is great.
Yeah. And you get a charge gem on top of that.
And the charge, so her abilities are a charge gem, which is you basically, one is you roll 1 or 2, you get a CP. If you roll a 3 or 4, you do a damage. You do 2 damage back to them, isolated, undefendable. You roll 5 or 6, you get that CP and you do the damage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great little win, sneaking little hits there. Um, but so we all know Moon Elf that she has targeted, and it makes her attacks that much better because you add 2 damage to every attack. They went the opposite direction with this, which I kind of like. Sun marked. So you mark this, you put this on your opponent. For every attack you do, you heal 2. So let's say that you have a sun mark on and you're doing your large straight, right? And you have a full sundial. So large straight is, then mind I say a full sundial. So you got to think about this, the delta of this one. So you'll heal 2. So you'll go up 2 health. You do 9 damage and then attack mod it to add 5. So that's a 16-point delta that you're dealing. 14 damage and healing 2.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, potential's there.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And it's so satisfying to have life steal. Like it's just a great mechanic and it's fun. Um, in the early games, I noticed I was having issues keeping up with my sundial and making sure that I got it. So I think part of this character for me will be sundial management, but also making sure I get all the little ways to bump that sundial up.
I think the kind of disappointing about thing about the board is, or also ability, and once again, this is what makes it better for games like Adventures, is her radiant energy. Once you get a sun mark on somebody, it doesn't do much. And that's my one big complaint about it is some of our abilities are just not worth going for, and it's not even easy to roll for. I mean, it's two sixes and then threes, one, two, or threes, which isn't difficult, but it's not easy to roll for. It's not something that you would chase. When you upgrade it, if you get her upgrade for that early, it makes it a little better. But I'll go into that when we do a deep dive. But one thing you're looking on our board is not bad. I mean, you have a charge up with ray absorption. You have a below average attack rate. And Andrew was not my favorite. You have the scorching staff, which is with
So also though, this is a delta of 8. So you inflict the sun marked,
yep,
you hit them, you heal 2, and you're also dealing 6 damage. So the damage is below average, but you're also healing 2. So
yes,
the delta coming up helps.
it does. And then you have the scorching staff, which is good. It's one of those when you do damage, roll a rider dice. And things. Then you have your ray of light, which is good because average damage. But what are we seeing here? Well, once again, defendable. No undefendable attacks. And I personally have a problem. I like undefendable. He knows this. People usually play me. They roll their defense on average maybe like 3 times a match. If I can help it, I like characters undefendable. So I look at these like I love Moon Elf. Like she's one of my favorite characters. But I'll play her sparingly just because I don't. I like being able. She hits harder though too. But I like being able to go into someone's not going to someone's defense.
Right.
Her solo burst, when you upgrade it, does become undefendable, and it goes down by 1, so it's 7 undefendable, which is fine. So like that's one source you'll have. Her defense is not bad, but it's not great. You do increase sundial when you roll the other symbols, 2 of the charges or 1 of the sun power, but it's on. It's not per.
Right.
So then that's another thing too. Now when you upgrade defense, every 6 roll you do increase it, so you have a chance of increasing it 3 times. Which if you have full sundial, it's a 3 heal, so you have a good chance of healing 3 when it comes to that. So overall, I think this is the I won't say the worst character, but not it is definitely the worst character out of the 4. So I don't think it's the worst character in Dice Throne, but I do believe it is definitely a lower tier, and it's the worst character out of the 4. It's still fun to play. I love the art, and mind you, these are our first hot takes. We've played these characters very minimum. I've played a little more because I played a little more last night. Sorry, I know. Um, but when we take these deep dives, we're going to play each character multiple times for our next video, and that way. And I'll tell you right now. I know you said it earlier. Let us know which one. So the first one we're doing is Forgemaster. After that, let us know which one you want to do after that. Him and I are going to play Forgemaster a minimum of 5 times each. That way, we can give you a good opinion on how we feel with the character, what we think. I think a good 5 play a character 5 times. I think you have a good way of figuring the grasp of the character and mechanics and everything else. This whole so that's Sun Elf.
I have a suspicion. Now this is just a suspicion, and I am 735th in the world. So just remember that. I have a suspicion that she might be a little bit better than our initial take is against some of these other characters that are really good. I don't think she's bottom tier. I don't think she's tournament tier. But we'll see. I want to see how she plays out against some of the other characters.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. So when we do this deep dive, we're going to play against different characters. One thing that I like to do, especially when I prep for tournaments and stuff, is I will take the worst matchups that I think a character will go against and see how it fares against it. One thing that this channel is going to do is it's going to show you the non-optimal way to play your characters, and that's important because when you get into a tournament situation, yeah, I'm just going to roll this the whole time and then I'll win. You have to roll it.
Right.
And
what happens if the dice gods hate you?
Yeah, I mean, it's very much a optimal is always best, but finding a way to win when you're not playing optimally or have the best matchup is important. And that's one thing that I want to do with this channel is show you now that we've gone over these characters, the next thing I want to do is talk about a little bit about this channel, and so you guys can have a idea of what you're buying into. So subscribing to and liking the videos and giving us feedback is going to be important. Please do that. Haven't done it now, pause the video, do it now.
And liking and subscribing on small channels like ours, it really helps. YouTube algorithm sees people like, oh, that's interesting. They think this is interesting. We'll show more amazing content.
So what we're going to do is, and this is a rough plan. And once again, comment below, tell me what you think. We're going to. I know a lot of these channels have done it, Dice Throne content. They do a deep dive into characters, explain what they like and everything else and their abilities. We're going to do a similar thing, but with our little twist on our opinions, because everyone has opinions. No one. I'm no expert. No matter how high someone's ranked, they're not experts either. It's how you play the game and how much you have fun with the characters that's important. We are going to go into a little more of how to play games ultimately and like strategies to win, but still play your way and have fun.
Oh, and counter picks.
Oh, counter picks, yeah.
Counter picks is huge.
Yep.
We do enjoy the tournament play, and it's so much fun to win. And so knowing your counter picks and knowing who to pick into what and reasons why you would never pick a certain character into another character, really, I think a lot of the game happens before you even roll your first set of dice. That matchup.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That matchup is huge.
Segue off of that. So what we're going to do along with that is we're going to do games, live games. Him and I playing against each other, where you can see both our boards and we're rolling. We'll even show you our cards so the other person can't see it, but you see what we're playing with. And then we'll have a small discussion afterwards on like maybe why we made these choices. We'll actually talk through the game, and you'll hear our banter.
Mostly talking trash through.
Yeah. But we want to show you those games and live rolling action, how it goes, what we're looking at, what we're deciding, and then you can see where like people the way they think, and why we want to do that is it's always fun to watch. I watch a lot of videos of Dice Throne. It's fun to watch the explanation of characters and everything else, but we all want to see gameplay. We want to see, and we don't want to see the ones. I don't, not we, because I know some people like seeing it. I want to see two people playing, having a good time, and what their opinions on are about it. But we also want to see like optimal matchups, non-optimal matchups. So in the comments as well, let us know which matchup you want to see. If you want to see, tactician against, pyro.
If you want that, you're weird. But seriously, though, I mean, if that's what you want, I'd happy to try it out. Happy to see how it matches up, and maybe the best way to play tactician and pyro, if there's a good way for tactician to play into pyro.
And honestly, this is our first episode. So any comments that you guys want and how to make it better, what you want to see, we're here for you guys. And overall, we would not be here if it wasn't for Wonkos.
Oh, seriously.
I mean, they made the backdrop behind us, and we'll get a picture. We'll put it up too. These mats are theirs too. Wonko's is an amazing local game store here in Austin, Texas, and this is where we're based off. Even made our shirts.
Yeah.
We actually took these to a tournament when we went to Dallas. It was the biggest organized play Dice Throne tournament ever. It was 100 people. It was fantastic. But Wonko's supports our community here in Austin, which is one of the bigger ones in Texas, honestly. We're very grateful to have them support us. Come see Matt and the staff here. They're friendly. They'll help you find stuff if you're local. If not, come to Austin and visit us.
Yeah.
But we want to really gear our channel to the community. So please let us know. We are part of the Facebook Dice community as well, and we have our Discord. So questions. We want our opinions on things. If you want to see certain things, just let us know.
Yeah, we love that. And guys, once again, thank you for watching. Thanks for taking the time with this guy and me. And huge thanks to the Wonkos. It's great to have a game store that's got good vibes. It's a good place to hang out. So huge shout out to them.
So to close off, this is Will. I'm Solo, and we're Twice as Wild.